What's up, everybody? I hope you're having a great day. And today we're talking about a hot topic, manifestation. We're talking about creating your own reality. I love this conversation. I get a lot of flack from this conversation as well. When I've posted on other social media outlets, you always get the people, which is cool, um, where they're like, you can't just lay around and think about what you want and then it's just going to magically appear. I know. I'm not here to say that. I firmly agree. We're not here to lay around and be lazy. That's the opposite of what we're doing here on this channel. And by the way, if you're new to the channel, I'm Dave. We are the Cream. We're a real estate channel, but we talk a lot about personal development because we believe the better you develop yourself personally, the better your business is going to be. I know that for a fact. Been through a lot of trials and tribulations, which I share here on this channel, and things are looking up, right? And I've completely changed my life. I'll be 3 years sober next month, and a number of videos about just transformation because that's what we're about. And today we're talking about manifestation, specifically the law of attraction, very much popularized by the book and video The Secret. Rhonda Byrne, I believe, wrote that, and that's the flack you're going to get, and that's the flack if you're watching this video. Hopefully, you hang out with me and maybe hear my perspective because I'm not trying to say we just lay around all day, eat Pop Tarts, and think about horses, and then a horse is going to show up on your front steps. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So the first people that give flack about this is just that. It's like you can't just lay around and think about stuff and it's going to come true. I agree. In fact, the big premise of The Secret is thoughts are things. That's kind of true, but you attract or you create, which we're going to kind of talk about deeper in this video. You attract what you are, not what you just think about. That's surface level. Thoughts could be flimsy. You gotta incorporate the feelings, as my man Joe Dispenza talks about. It's that heart coherence. It's like you feel. So you attract and you create what you are more so than just what you think about. I mean, come on. If we just manifested what we think about, all right, I'm thinking about an elephant right now. It's so flimsy. There's no feeling, there's no emotion, there's no energy and motion behind that. So yes, thoughts are things, and that's kind of like a catchy phrase. But remember, we attract and we create what we are because we are creators. I open most videos on this channel by saying you're a spiritual being having a human experience, and that is my foundation. This is how I see it. This is my belief that we're all souls. You don't have a soul, you are a soul. And it gets real murky when you get into the whole manifestation conversation because then you start getting into God, and then you got the one camp who's like, God is up in the sky and my life's purpose is to prove to him that I belong in this place called heaven. And that's one way to live your life. That's how I was raised. That's how many of us are raised in the church and whatnot. Not hating against anyone. I'm not kind of standing on that platform, though. I'm of the notion that you are a soul and your soul is directly connected to this thing we call God. It's not some guy who's up in the sky with a beard and he's judging us and he's going to kind of create what he's going to decide what happens to us after we croak, as Abraham Hicks talks about. Now, I don't come from that school. I'm coming from the school that you are directly connected to this creative source. It is source energy. It's the source of all things. It is insanely powerful that we can't even really comprehend it, but we're attached to it and it's communicating and working through us. And that's kind of the premise of the manifestation, right? You're a creator because you're directly connected through your soul. You're directly connected to the same thing that makes plants grow and makes the tides work and created the whole world. I mean, it's God energy, right? And you're connected to it. I know you're connected to it because think about this. Let's pretend you're cleaning out your garage, which I was doing some straightening up over the weekend. I get out there, roll up the sleeves a little bit, try to help out at home. And let's pretend you scraped your arm while you're cleaning the garage out. Well, do you need to, after you scrape your arm, do you need to focus on that every single day and think about it? Thoughts are things, right? Do you need to think about it and say, heal, heal, I want to be healed. No, you don't have to. You just let go and you let God. You let the energy that you're already connected to heal you, right? Your cells are dividing. You don't consciously need to be, doing anything. You don't consciously need to make your heart beat. You don't consciously need to heal yourself. You're connected to that creative energy. And that's what I'm talking about. So, with that being said, since there's almost two versions of us. Okay, you got you who's watching this video, who you're a physical being here on this planet, just like I am. This is one version of ourselves. Then you got that soul part of you. It's almost like a two part series here. It's like you got your physical self, then you got your soul self, and your soul self is much bigger since it's connected to literally everything that creates the entire world. Your soul, the soul part of you, is massive and infinite, and just like you're directly connected, but it's like a whole nother part. So this is the way I kind of look at this whole manifestation thing. So when you are living your life here in this physical plane, just like we are, you get preferences because you experience life and you have challenges that we overcome challenges. That's one of the best ways to build your self-confidence, is to overcome challenges. In fact, I believe we came here as a soul to overcome challenges because that's where all personal growth lies, right? How do you learn to not touch the hot stove? You touch the hot stove, you get burned, you're never going to do it again. We learn from these lessons in life. Life's full of lessons. And whenever we experience these lessons, it helps us focus on what it is we do want. So we experience something we don't want, and it helps us really channel that creative energy and focus on what it is that we want in our life, right? As soon as we have these desires, as soon as we kind of get clarity on what it is that we want, the soul part of us literally becomes that. Now, it gets a little trippy, but this is the way I understand it. So the soul part, which is infinite, it's infinite possibilities, it literally becomes that desire. It becomes that which you desire. And then the only thing we need to do here in the physical to actually experience what it is that we want in the physical is vibrationally align with that which our higher self has become. I know it's a little trippy. It's weird. Let me know kind of your thoughts on this, but your soul is infinite. Your soul is nothing but infinite possibilities. And this is the same thing what they talk about with quantum physics. And you can Google search right now the double slit theory that they did, the double slit experiment. It's not even a theory, it's proven science, where everything essentially is a wave until it is observed and it becomes a particle. So everything is energy until it's observed, and then it becomes physical reality. It is the trippiest thing you're ever going to see in your life. And if you ever want to really go down the rabbit hole, check out the movie. It's called What the Bleep, BLEEP, What the Bleep Do We Know? And it's all about quantum physics. But quantum physics and spirituality, it is like this bridge. It's like this circle. It's like this infinity symbol. It all works together, right? So if everything is energy and everything is just a possibility until we observe it, that's what I feel, that energy, that quantum field, as they call it in quantum physics, that's what your soul is connected to, and that's what becomes your desire. So you have this desire here in the physical, right? I got my goals, I got my desires written down right here. I encourage you guys, come on. We got to get our Napoleon Hill definite aim, right? We got to have what do we want to manifest? We got to have clarity, right? We got to know what it is that we want. And then once we have these desires in the quantum field or in the energy field that we're connected to, in the soul, God energy that's outside of our sphere here, we can't see it. It's not physical. It literally, that desire is created. And the only thing we need to do to now experience it is to vibrate at the same frequency as that desire. And that's why I say you attract or create what it is that you are, not what you think. So let's pretend you have this manifestation that you want of traveling to Hawaii with your family. That's one of mine. Spoiler alert. Well, I am constantly reading over my goals, and I put myself in that state, and I have this desire, but now I'm visualizing and really feeling the feeling of experiencing Hawaii with my family. I visualize myself waking up super early like I do here, and knocking out my workout, knocking out a couple hundred burpees, feeling good, drinking espresso, waking up before everybody else, going. I'm in some nice resort, waking up the kid when the kids wake up on their own. Daddy's already up, getting the day planned. We're gonna go see the blue ocean. My kids are gonna be feeling that sand. Maybe we'll do some scuba diving. Maybe we're just gonna see the beauty of it all. I'm feeling it right now just talking about it. So that is aligning my current vibration with what it is that I want. So this is how you got to do it. And when it comes to, all I got to do is sit around and think about it, and then it's going to manifest. That's weak energy. Action is everything. If you watch this channel, we're taking massive action. But the reason we're taking massive action, the reason we're self-inducing adversity, positive adversity to our life through workouts, through eating healthy, because we want to stay at a high vibration. You know darn well, if you're lethargic, if you don't work out, if you're just like lazy, let's call it like it is. I mean, if you're still drinking alcohol, you're vaping, you're playing video games, you're eating junk food, that's a low vibe, and that is not fertile soil to raise your vibration. That naturally, all the stuff we just talked about, not working out and eating bad and just kind of warping your brain with external crap, it's tough to get in that good feeling state of your desire when you're constantly just filling your body full of poison or you're being lethargic. God does not like the energy of lazy. It's the opposite of gratitude. When we are sitting around doing nothing and waking up, I don't want to get out of bed, and this and that, that's like almost giving your middle finger to God. It's like giving your middle finger to this creative energy that you're connected to, where it's like, I don't even want to live. I mean, I know I'm being drastic. Hey, when I used to drink alcohol, I used to wake up not wanting to live anymore. Straight up. The lowest vibration. So much shame, right? So much regret. I ain't living that way. So what I need to do is raise that vibration. That's a low vibration, shame and regret, the lowest of the low. Well, we need to raise our vibration. So yes, we need to take action to raise our vibration. If we're going to really feel the feeling of this manifestation, we have to raise our vibration. How do we do that? It happens through action, right? So the things you put in your body affect your vibration. The conversations that you have, the environments that you put yourself in, 100% affect your vibration. It affects your ability to focus and feel the feeling of your end result. So yeah, no, there's massive action needed. In fact, you're at a very low vibration, sitting around doing nothing, eating Pop-Tarts and just hoping. That's hope. Hope doesn't manifest. Maybe it will in some distant land. I don't know. But we want to be tapped in. You want to be tapped in, you got to take massive action. But the actions that we're taking is the self-induced positive adversity that we're going to overcome these challenges, because we are built as human beings. We are built to overcome challenges. And if we do not self-induce challenges in a positive respect to overcome, our subconscious mind is going to create challenges for us. And it could come in the form of disease. It could come in the form of relationship issues. It could come in the form of addiction. It could come in the form of, right, if we're not consciously creating adversity for us to overcome, then we kind of build up this desire and this boredom, and we're starting to get at this low vibe. We always feel the best and we feel the most proud of ourselves when we accomplish something. So let's put ourselves in this self-induced adversity, right? And then overcome it every single day, every moment. Stack these small wins. Stack the small wins. And then you're going to feel good. And remember, what you feel is just as important, if not more important, than just what you think. But when you're feeling good, your vibration is high, you're in alignment with your higher self. So remember how I said there's two versions of you. There's the physical part, and then there's the non-physical part. And the non-physical part becomes that desire in the quantum field. It becomes that desire in the spiritual realm. right? And how are we going to align with that? And this is all we got to do is receive it. To receive it, we have to align with it. Well, it's going to come from being at a high vibration, high energy. So we have to self-induce this positive adversity to keep our energy high. And that's it. It doesn't need to be that complicated. But let's not fall into this trap of, oh, yeah, this stuff doesn't work. Well, I mean, it's kind of already working. It does work. Remember, if you scrape your arm, your body heals itself. There's stuff going on that is completely out of your control. Straight up. So, how do we tap into the energy that we're already connected to actually consciously create the life that we want? It's going to come from clarity. A lot of times, the clarity is going to come from going through challenges here in your physical life. That helps you hone your focus on what it is that you want. And then when you know what you want, or you at least have a general idea, put it on paper. Read it every single day. That's what Napoleon Hill talks about, your definite chief aim, right? Go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, can you help me create a definite chief aim like Napoleon Hill talks about? You don't even need to jump into the books and everything. You guys can start today. And then you put your goals into ChatGPT and you create this definite chief aim. Now you have a target. Now you know what it is that you're kind of wanting. And then what we need, and once you know what you want, once you have these desires, remember in the spiritual realm, that's completely out of your control. The God energy, we can't even fathom. It's just wild. It's just crazy. That's the creative energy. It already creates it for you. And that's what Abraham Hicks talks about. Ask and it is given, right? It is given. You ask for something, and in the quantum realm, in the spiritual realm, it's created. Now we must receive it. And we're going to receive it by raising our vibration and being in the same vibration as that desire. Hopefully, I didn't just go down some crazy rabbit hole. Maybe there's something in here that you kind of relate to. Let me know your comments. Let me know. I mean, this is just the way I interpret the same spiritual messages that many people have talked about. This is not some original, content. It is simply my point of view, right? Certainly not here to say, oh, I got it all figured out. I'm some enlightened spiritual master. No, but you know what? I know how I feel, and I know what is working for me, and I know that the better I feel, the closer my desires are here to reality. I mean, truly, why would it be any other way? Like, that's how I know if I'm in alignment with that desire, is by the way I feel. You know, if I feel like shit, I know I'm not in alignment with that vision, because the vision that I have for myself, the manifestation that I want, feels good. So I need to feel good now, right? With that being said, everybody, I hope you're ready for a great day, great week, wherever and whenever you're watching this particular video. Let me know kind of your feedback. I'm open to whatever, guys. I'm not coming from some place of some know-it-all type of thing. No, I don't know it all. We're here to share. We're here to grow. We're here to grow together. I love you all. Let's make it a great day, and I'll see you soon.